Hello guys, good morning. Thank you so much for tuning into this channel. And if you're new here, my name is Angela and I live in Germany. So straight away to this video, I'm gonna share with you my experience of having a hysteroscopy procedure done in Germany. And I know that this information is important, especially for people who actually have a plan, such like a planned procedure for hysteroscopy. On the way, this will give you so much information because usually you want to go into this process as prepared as possible. And it's funny that I just realized yesterday, which was when I had my operation, that I was totally unprepared. Anyway, so just giving you a history of how I came into the like to the point of where I needed this operation. Sometime last year, I think somewhere in June, July, I hadn't been experiencing pain on the left, on my left side, on the left side of the pelvic region or something like that. And I decided to find a gynecologist. By that time, we were living in another place in Rummel. And when I went for the examination, he told me that everything has looked okay, but there was something. He was speaking in German, and there was some, medical terms that I'm not very familiar with. And to me, I thought he said like it was something like a cyst, but he did mention that usually it goes away on its own, like maybe after the period. So after my next period, I should come back for him to check whether it went away on its own. But because, and I can say just that the devil is really a liar, I didn't experience so much pain afterwards. So I ignored it. I was like, what's the point? And I even assumed that maybe it went away on its own. So fast forward to somewhere maybe in October, again, the same year, last year, 2023, I started feeling these pains and they were so strong, like on my left side, almost like a paralyzing pain. Sometimes maybe a few days into my periods or some days during my periods, I would feel this very sharp striking pain like choop, and I was like, oh my God, what is that? So I decided this time I was not going to ignore it. I would go to my Frauenarzt, which is like the GP, gynecologist, yes, and have it checked. I was called to the doctor when it was time for my appointment. She accepted, and she checked and she saw this thing. And at that time, she said, yeah, that she can see a myome. When I went to Google later what a myome is, it's a fibroid. And at that time, she told me that it was like 1 centimeter big or something like that. She said it's not something very bad, but if you're ever planning to have children in the future, then it really needs to go away. And then she repeated the same thing and said usually it goes away on its own during the periods. So again, I need to come back after my next period for them to check whether it went away on its own. I did not mention that I'd already visited another doctor. I just let her do her thing. Of course, after, and the funny thing again, with the next period, there was absolutely no pain. No pain. And again, I must say, the devil is a liar. I don't know why he just wanted this thing to continue staying in my body and to cause whatever damage it would have caused. But there was no pain. The striking pain, the whatever, the discomfort. And I told myself that, this thing might have gone away on its own, as the doctor had said. And at that point, I could have easily decided, what, why should I waste my time going up all the way to Krefeld? And Krefeld was even in another city. We live in Duisburg, but Krefeld is in another city. It's not very far, maybe 30 minutes away, and it's also very easily accessible by train. So anyway, I decided, what, I'm not gonna make that decision whether it's gone or not. Let the doctor confirm it. So I had another appointment on the 4th of December, and the doctor asked me, or the gynecologist rather, asked me, how are you feeling? Are there any pains and all that? I said, the pain is really gone. I'm feeling great. And she said, oh, that sounds like good news. And if that thing, which I was really hoping that it went away on its own, then it would be really nice. But so let us check and see the condition. And she checks. It's right there, not gone anywhere. And she said, unfortunately, the thing is still there, and I would advise that you let it be removed. You let it be removed because if it continues staying there, then it can cause a lot of complications in the future. So she said, I'm gonna refer you to that is like a gynecological days clinic, you know, a clinic where you don't really have to spend the night there. They just do like, you know, these quick operations that might last for maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour, also depending on the situation. And long story short, she referred me to another, to a GTK in Krefeld. And she told me, she gave me, of course, a referral letter and told me that I need to contact them and make an appointment. She said, please do not push this thing too long. That thing really needs to be removed. And when the doctor says that, you know, sometimes they don't want to scare you, but it's just good to obey. So I stayed with that Überweisung, or rather the referral later a few days, and then I decided, you know what, let me call, because usually getting an appointment in all these places is not that easy. You might get an appointment in 2 months and whatever, and if it is something that is growing, it really continues to grow. And so I called somewhere in December, I don't know when, and I was given an appointment for the 8th of January. And to me, I thought that maybe that was the day of the operation. And I told Mark, hey, you need to free this day because I will need you to take me to the hospital. I need to go for this and this operation. On the 8th of January, we did go to the clinic, but as it appears, it was like like an information session in preparation for the surgery, because it was a referral, but they also needed to check for themselves, like to see what they are dealing with, to see if whatever the doctor, my gyna, indicated is what they can see. And it stated, if I'm not wrong, yes, it stated that I had a myome, which is a fibroid. But when I now was checked in the GTK, in the gynecologische Tagesklinic, they said it seems to be a polyp. And they said that, did your GP inform you that there is also another one a little bit lower? That one that looks now like a fibroid? And I said no. And she said, okay, we are gonna remove it. And the other one is really low and really small, and it doesn't really affect anything unless it's causing any pain or discomfort. We're just gonna leave it there. So yes, on that day I was given some forms to take home with me. I was given so many forms, and I would just like to advise somebody that is watching this and you are preparing for maybe a hysteroscopy, please read. It was written, clearly written, Informationen rund die Operation. I've had these things literally from the 8th of January, and my operation was set for the 23rd of January, which was yesterday. I never read them. And then in the morning, of course, because on that day I was just given, like, you know, verbal information that, hey, so this is what I was actually informed. No food at least 6 hours before the operation. No, first of all, I was told, yes, the operation is scheduled for the 23rd of January, but a day before the operation, or by 10 a.m., I needed to call the clinic for them to confirm exactly what time my operation has been scheduled for, which I remembered to do, but I think I did after 10. I was busy with some things here and there. I did it after 10, but it was not so bad. They just told me, yes, you need to be here by 9 a.m. So I needed to be there by 9 a.m. And I was, and I asked, is there any specific information that I need to have before the operation? And she said, yes, make sure 6 hours before the operation, you don't eat, your stomach stays empty, and you also don't drink, you don't chew on don't chew on sweets, or don't use any chewing gum. If you're a smoker, please do not smoke, and all that. And then yesterday in the morning, of course, during on the day of the operation, I wake up and something tells me, okay, look at the forms, which are all these forms. Look at them, just go through them and see if there is anything important. I've never read these things. And then I realized that, first of all, it was indicated that I should not wear any makeup. But anyway, I was not planning to wear makeup anyway, but it was indicated to avoid makeup, because you're gonna go under anesthesia and your eyes can start to tear because of the anesthesia or during the anesthesia, whatever, when you're under the influence. And then you're not supposed to have any like like, you know, the jewelries or whatever, like earrings and all that. You're supposed to remove them, and even body piercing, you're supposed to remove them. I was saying these things in the morning when Mark is even putting on his shoes. We're about to go to the car, and I start to panic. Oh my God, now I give it to him because everything is in German. Not like I cannot understand, but now I'm panicking. Oh my God, please read and make sure we are doing everything that we are supposed to do. And it's funny that it's even indicated here that there are some medication 4 to 6 days before the operation that you're not supposed to take. And me, I'd been taking medication, and it's indicated like some of the medication here, like diclofenac, ibuprofen, thomapyrine, I don't know, aspirin, all these things you're not supposed to take 4 to 6 days before the operation because they might cause overbleeding or something like that. I did not read, but just a day before, on the day of the operation, which was yesterday, Mark advised me don't take any kind of medication. It could interfere with the narcotics. In any case, last now to the operation. I went to the operation. We arrived there on time, I think maybe 10 minutes before. Went there, of course, went straight to the reception. They asked again for my Krankenkasse, the medical, the insurance card, and I was told just sit. And they asked me, because there were also some questionnaires that I needed to have filled in, like in agreement with the anesthesia, you know. I hadn't filled them up because, as I said, I never looked through the papers. I didn't even know why they gave me those papers. Please read through, make sure you're properly informed before your operation to avoid some complications. Things could have really turned south. It is only by the mercies of God. Because yesterday, because as they said that I shouldn't eat like 6 hours into the operation, I just decided let my last meal be on the evening prior. And Mark even took me out to this nice restaurant. He asked me, what do you need to eat before you start your fast? Do you have any wish? And took me to this nice restaurant where I had some salmon, you know, wrapped in bacon and some fried vegetables. It was really nice. Even took some wine. And then officially at around 8, I started my fast. I didn't drink any water. I didn't eat anything. Basically, I just said I will break the fast after I wake up from the operation. And that's exactly what I did. And I thank God, because whatsoever the enemy had planned for me, stuffing me up with all those medications, some of which I'm sure I was not supposed to take, God reversed it. You know what happened? At midnight, around midnight, I woke up from a dream. And in this dream, I was under attack. I was in a place where there were men that were attacking me, actually, with some sort of bombs that looked like small, like balls, like this size of balls, and they were throwing them at people. And when they threw, it was supposed, like when it's thrown on you, of course you explode and you're gone. And when they threw it at me, you know, I was trying to dodge. When they threw it at me, it actually was going to hit me, but I hit it with my hand. So, and I was even afraid that, oh my God, I have detonated it. I hit the bomb with my hand, and instead of the bomb like falling and detonating, it started hovering around just like zzz. And I was trying to dodge it and to dodge it. And there were these people that were on the watch to make sure this thing actually falls on my head. And what saved me, even in that dream, I kept calling upon the name of Jesus, like, Jesus. And I was looking at this ball, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And it just went zzz. And what I could conceive at that time is that it was losing its power. You know, it's supposed to go off and break into a fire, but it's like it's losing whatever power is inside, you know, like maybe something that, like a balloon that is being deflated or something like that. So it's just going round and round. Zzz, it never fell on me. And the person who was on the watch to make sure that I don't escape got tired and even thirsty, and assigned another guy to the watch to watch this ball that it actually explodes on me, and even went to look for water to drink because that is how tired. And I just kept calling upon the name of Jesus, and even to the point that I also wanted water to drink. And I saw that on the side that there was a tap. I wanted to escape at that point where I was going to drink water, and I knew that these people had been wicked. I wanted to escape, but something told me, no, don't run away. And I even showed the guy, you're looking for water, it is right there. And that is how I woke up. And here, clearly hitting the ball back, or hitting this bomb back, it's just like whatever the enemy had planned for me, it backfired, literally backfired. Hit it back to the enemy lines. It backfired. It did not detonate. It did not even explode on them. Or maybe it I don't know what transpired later in the realm of the spirit, but what I know is that God saved me from something that the enemy had planned for me. But long story short, I got to the operation room, and I got to the hospital. And yes, something else that I forgot to tell you, because when after you go after the operation, you need to recover, actually, to wake up from the anesthesia, because imagine you have not eaten for 6 hours. In my case, it was even. Hi guys, so it's around 11. I have no idea how long my operation lasted, but it's done. And I feel a little bit better waking up. The last I remember I saw was on the operation table, and no, my auntie was back on, and I was basically waking up and told that the operation is done. More than 12 hours, I hadn't eaten or drank anything, and then you're stuffed with all this medication. So, and we were told that there were 3 choices of rooms that you can have, either a room with 3 beds, a room with 2 beds, or a room with 1 bed. With 3 beds, you only have to pay 25 euros. If you choose a room with 2 beds, you pay 50 euros. And if you choose a room with 1 bed, you pay 75 euros. That you are paying out of pocket. But of course, the operation, the entire procedure, because it was prescribed by my gynecologist, this one was taken care of by insurance. But for the bed, I needed to pay for myself, and we were prepared because Mark said it's more comfortable to have a private room. You recover in peace, you wake up in peace with not people talking here, people talking there. So when we arrived at the hospital, then they asked for my Krankenkasse, and then they told me, by the way, we need from you 25 euros because we have prepared for you a 3-bedroom. And Mark was like, how comes we were not asked, like, for the choice of the room? Yeah, usually blah blah blah. But in any case, it's only 3 hours, and it doesn't even make any sense. The 3-bedroom is totally fine. You're only going to be there for 3 hours. And we said yes. So I paid the 25 euros. Mark told me, okay, what do you feel? At that point, I had the choice. I could have said, you know what, I want the room with 1 bed. I'm ready to pay the 75 euros. But I said, if they say it's okay and it's 3 hours, it's fine. Remember, part of the hours, you are actually in the operation room. You're not even in the room. You're holding the room because your staff are there. So then I go back and, I sit at the reception. My appointments are supposed to be at 9. Trust me, 8:59. Somebody came to the waiting area and said, Frau Owoko, because that is usually what I am called in Germany, Miss Owoko. Frau Owoko, follow me. And Marcos told, yes, of course, if you're with her, you can definitely come. Then I was taken to the room, and I paid 25 euros for the 3-bedroom. I was taken to the room with 1 bed, to the private room. Glory to God. And we're like, where is the confusion here? And we were thinking that maybe after the operation they would ask us to top up, but long story short, they didn't. So we got this nice room with a bed, a private room with a bed, and you have your sink there, and underneath you have a safe where you can put your valuables, and you have your own private toilet and bathroom, and there was a heater in there that was already warming up. And then on the bed, they have a cover is there, and you have they provide, of course, the shirt, the gown the gown for the operation and a hairnet. And then I was informed, just sit here and wait. Two people are gonna come. The anesthetist will come and just take you through what he's gonna do, inform you what he's gonna do before he does it. And then the doctor will also come and just take you through, like the one that's the surgeon that's supposed to perform the operation. After these two people come, then you can get dressed and now be ready to go for your operation. And we stayed for some time just chatting with Mark and laughing and all that. And yeah, it didn't take too long. So towards 10, because yeah, I went to the room at 9, of course, but it didn't mean that the operation would start at 9. So towards 10, maybe around 9:45, then these two people, of course, came. First of all, the doctor came and asked whether the anesthetist has been there. No. Then he just walked me through what they're gonna do. He's gonna like the procedure that is gonna do the hysteroscopy, and then just made sure that I understand that is what he's gonna do, and then said yes. And then shortly after, the anesthetist also came. They all speaking German. They ask you whether you understand German, of course, but Mark was there just in case there's something that I don't understand, because some of this medical stuff I may not. But anyway, I understood, and in fact, after they went, he told me, "Did you understand anything?" Because I didn't. And I'm like, hey, you were there to understand for me. But in any case, I understood everything. And I was just told that, yeah, now you can change, put on the gown, put on the hairnet, and do not forget that I was still in pain. And that morning, I did not take any painkillers. I was actually working like a zombie, and I was even like, how am I going to go through it? But thanks be to God, by yesterday morning, the pain was going down, so it was not that bad. It was a little bit uncomfortable when I sit. I feel like the pain was shifting from here to here to here. I don't even understand what kind of pain this is. But in any case, then Mark actually had to help me dress up, because again, as I told you, I was in pain. And I went, and the anesthesiologist or whatever, I don't know how they call them, he came and he saw that I'm already dressed, and he said, are you ready? Now follow me. I'm going to walk in front. You need to walk behind me. And oh, by the way, the things that they asked us to bring: warm socks for the operation. They asked us to bring like house shoes, because you're not going to be walking in there either barefoot or with shoes that are not very easy for you to or comfortable. So comfortable house shoes. So we carried my Crocs, and I also had some warm socks on. Also, something else that I was told to bring were sanitary pads, because definitely some things are gonna be cut inside your uterus. You're gonna bleed. And then I was asked to leave my underpants on as I got to the operation room. But when I got there, then I was asked just to remove them, and I was shown where to place them, where it would be easier for them to find them. And then basically I was asked to lay on the table and, put your legs up on those things like this, and then lie on your back. And then afterwards, everything was just really fast. And then, of course, they put the section where they're gonna put the medicine here. They put that injection inside there and lay it down there. And then they were asking me questions. Hey, how did you come here? Was the drive okay? Did you come by taxi or by public transportation? Did anyone come with you? Just questions here and there. They spread this part before starting. I don't know if all that is part of the anesthesia, because the last thing I remember, once they put the drug in, it's painful. I felt some pain, like really pain as the drug was going in. That's the last thing I remember. I just did, ouch! And I was knocked off. Anything else that transpired, if they were still talking, I don't know. I was so surprised that is how quick the anesthesia works. Like once it hits your vein, you're gone. Like, I was totally gone. And several minutes later, maybe about an hour later, because I remember I was driven back to my recovery room at exactly 11, and we went there at around 9:45. But according to their indication, they started the procedure at around 10:25. you know, when they now removed the key thing around 10:25. So I think there was a lot, of course, that goes on. They need to prepare the area and all that. All that, I was not aware of anything that happened. They just shook me later and like, hey, wake up. And then asked me, do you know where you are? And I'm like, I couldn't even talk. I was so drunk with the anesthesia. But yeah, they woke me up. They told me, it's already done. The procedure is done. Everything went well. We are gonna now take you back to the recovery room. And they wheel me back. They put me on a stretcher, wheel me back, put me on the bed, cover me, and they just, at that time, of course, I'm conscious but very weak, and they adjusted the bed to a point where I'm comfortable. And then somebody came in and asked me whether I wanted something to eat, and definitely I wanted something to eat. I was so weak, so tired, so hungry, and asked whether I wanted tea or coffee. And I said yes, I would like some tea. Which kind of tea? They gave me the options. I chose some frutete, like fruit tea, and asked whether I wanted some bread. Of course, I said yes. Do you want it with cheese and some salami or that, those German things? Well, I said I wanted just with the marmalade would be fine. So they put some butter and marmalade. It was really nice. My God, waking up, you eating like you've never eaten before. So I had that, and basically I told you I was wheeled in at around 10. I know, at around 11. And my phone was actually in the safe. I asked Mark to put my phone in the safe because it was my most valuable possession. It's my iPhone 15. So I wasn't going to be leaving it there carelessly. So then a nurse came in and asked me whether there is anyone that I've informed, anyone is coming to pick me up, or they've already gone home. I said, they're around, but I don't know where he is. I need to call them. And I said, my phone is in the safe. And of course, they have an overrider. They opened the safe for me, gave me the phone. I called Mark and I told him, hey, the operation is done. He said, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Yeah, within 10 minutes, he came back. I was already eating. We stayed for a little while. I tried to sleep, but then they came back and kept asking me, are you okay? Do you have any nausea? Are you feeling okay? If you're okay, then once you finish eating, you can just get dressed and go to wait at the winter garden. And that's exactly what happened. I got dressed. I realized, by the way, when I was wheeled in, that my underwear was back on, and they had I had a pad on. Actually, they placed a pad. The pad that I brought, of course, I did not give it to them, so they had to use their own. But yeah, it was, you know, those long weird pads that they give in the hospital. So once I got dressed, I changed and put on a more comfortable pad, because yes, I was bleeding. And when I got back to the room and went to the toilet, yes, there was a lot of blood coming out. But afterwards, it was manageable. Not even something that could feel a pad, not over bleeding. And what I can say, by evening, it was just like literally very little mild spotting, and until now I'm totally okay. As you can see, there's no pain in that area, nothing, I can recognize nothing. There was still some little spotting today morning, really minimal, but no pain, no fever, no dizziness, no nothing. I'm totally fine, and that is my experience. This video has been really long. Maybe I will try and shorten it when I edit, but basically that is my experience. And if you're gonna go through this, I hope there's something that you have learned, and I wish you all the best. I wish that it goes well for you. I've had horror stories of people who have gone through this process, and I don't know, they had some excruciating pain. I didn't experience any of that. When I got out of there, I couldn't even feel like anything happened there. Couldn't tell, I couldn't feel anything. And in any case, this myome or whatever it is, it was like it was on my right side, and yet the pain that I feel is on my left leg. So this pain is what led me to go to a gyna and have them find out, which is why it's important that regularly women need to go for just a general checkup, so that things like those can be diagnosed and treated. Thank you so much for watching. Sending you lots of love from Germany. Do not forget to subscribe, leave a like on this video. I'll see you in another video. Bye.